are you doing in my swamp? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2003 movie Dumb and Dumberer When Harry Met Lloyd. This is a prequel to the original movie Dumb and Dumber, which originally starred Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. This one follows Harry and Lloyd when they're in high school, and it shows how they met and became best friends. And in the movie, they're recruited by Principal Collins, played by Eugene Levy, to form a special ed class so that because the school will get a check, and the principal and the lunch lady, Miss Heller, are planning on using the check to for themselves instead of the school. So pretty much throughout this whole movie, Harry and Lloyd are trying to get the special ed class going, and they both have a crush on this girl named Jessica, who is like works for the school newspaper. She's trying to investigate because she suspects stuff with Principal Collins, and she kind of uses them to try to get information. But this movie is alright. It's not really, I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people do. I know a lot of people absolutely hated this movie and everything, and I think a lot of it was because it doesn't have any of the cast or crew of the original movie, and I can understand that. Like, the writing is different, and they do recycle a lot of jokes from the first movie, which I hate that when comedy movies do that. Like with the sequels or prequels, they try to recreate certain jokes and stuff, and it just, sometimes it lands, but most of the time it doesn't, and everything. But this movie did have quite a bit of good humor in it. There were some really funny parts, and then there's also some really cringy stuff too. Like there's a character named Cindy who's like a Chinese girl, and they like make her act like a racist stereotype and everything. That hasn't aged very well, and I didn't like that about this movie. And there are other things about it that I don't like some of the jokes don't land. Some of them are really good, and some of them are just really kind of cringy and don't work. But all in all, as far as prequels go and everything, this movie was pointless, but it still has its moments. The cast is good enough. Derek Richardson plays Harry. I think he does a pretty decent job. He's believable to be a younger version of Jeff Daniels. And Eric Christian Olsen plays Lloyd, and he does a really good job too. Most of the time you can tell he's trying to impersonate Jim Carrey, but I think he actually really does a pretty good job though. And the two of them have really good chemistry, so that helps with this movie. It does make it work because of that. Rachel Nichols plays Jessica, and she does a decent job too. She's not like anything special, but she's good enough. She works good with both of the actors and everything, and did an alright job playing the character. Eugene Levy plays Principal Collins, and he's pretty funny in here. Not as funny as he normally is, because like I said, this movie it's kind of a meh movie, but he's funny in parts of it. And Sherry O'Terry plays Miss Heller, and she's pretty funny too at times too. And her and Eugene Levy really worked really well off of each other. But I don't think this was, like I said, it's not a terrible movie, but it's definitely not a really great one either. It's one of those that I wouldn't want to watch all the time. I watch it every once in a while, not very much. Yeah, I also thought it was cool. Shia LaBeouf has a small role in here too before he this was before he really started taking off. He was already popular because of even Stevens, and this came out the same year that Holes came out. So, I mean, he was already popular, but it was cool kind of getting to see him in this too. And Bob Saget has a small part in here too, as Jessica's dad, and he's pretty hilarious too. Like, there's a scene where it's kind of trying to recreate the bathroom scene from the first movie, except it goes even crazier. Harry had bought this candy bar for Jessica, and he some reason has it in his pants pocket, and he's like sitting on her heater thing. He didn't realize that, I guess, the heater was on or whatever, and he goes into the bathroom to try to cool his butt down, and he finds the candy in his pocket. At first, I think he actually thinks it's poop but he sniffs it and he licks it and he realizes it's chocolate, which that part was kind of gross because it's like, even though you pretty much guess that it wasn't poop, it's still just kind of gross that the way he was acting, he didn't say he didn't know it wasn't, but it's implied, and the thought of that is just kind of gross. But he ends up smearing it all over the bathroom because he's freaking out trying to get himself cleaned up and everything. He gets it all over his clothes in the bathroom and everything, and then at the end of the scene with Harry and Jessica and her family and stuff, Bob Saget's character goes into the bathroom and he's like goes on a ranting rage about saying that he crapped all over the bathroom and stuff. It was just absolutely hilarious and everything. That was a really funny scene. And then there was another scene towards the end of the movie where Harry gets sprayed with mud and he gets hit by Bob Saget's car, and he thinks again that his car's covered in crap. It's really kind of dumb, but it's funny too. And there was also these reoccurring scenes, like where Harry and Lloyd are going to this gas station to get Slurpees, and they have this. The clerk in the store is, you can tell, doesn't really like them. He gets annoyed by them and everything. But there's some pretty funny jokes with him too and everything. But this movie is not very well made, and they don't really do a lot of thinking when they were making this movie. Like, the movie's set in like 1986, I think, and they have Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby playing at the beginning of the movie, which makes no sense seeing that Ice Ice Baby didn't come out until the 90s. And I think there are other songs that were in the movie that didn't come out till after 1986, so like they weren't very smart when they were doing that. And then, like, there's a scene where Lloyd and Harry are talking and stuff, and you can see the little cap they put on Lloyd's tooth to make it look like it was chipped and everything. They didn't do a very good job hiding that either. But so this movie isn't like really well made, but it at the same time, it's not really meant to be a really smartly made movie. It's supposed to be dumb, so it doesn't really bother me that bad. The only thing I didn't really like the jokes with the Chinese girl. I thought that was really messed up, and the nickname they gave her was really racist and wrong. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't think it's right what they did with that, but all in all, if you can overlook that part, this movie is alright. And it's not a great movie, but it's definitely not a total piece of garbage like some people say. I'd give Dumb and Dumberer a 7 out of 10, because like I said, I do enjoy this movie quite a bit. It just has some really cringy stuff in it, but let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.